Hello and guten Tag. My name is Nicole Siffling and I'm the Meeting and Marketing Communications Manager in the Genetic Identity team at Promega. And I'm very pleased that I'm here today with Professor Lutz Roewer, hello, who is the Director of the Department of Forensic Genetics at the Institute of Legal Medicine at the Charité in Berlin and also an Associate Professor. So again, thank you, Lutz, for having me here today. And before we start, I would like to introduce you to Lutz, what he did in his great life. So Lutz studied biochemistry at the University of Leipzig and received his PhD for molecular biology at the Humboldt University in 1991. He has worked as a forensic expert since 1987 and is a specialist in the field of Y-chromosome genetics and its forensic, genealogical and anthropological applications. He is currently curator of the Y-chromosome haplotype reference database, so known as the YHRD, and is working in various European-funded and international projects like DNASEQEX. Additionally, Lutz is a member of the editorial boards of the journals International Journal of Legal Medicine and Forensic Science International Genetics. He has been a member of the SWICDAM YSTR committee for the past 5 years, and last but not least, he has authored more than 100 peer-reviewed articles in scientific journals and publishes regular reviews and chapters in various textbooks. So Lutz, to come now to another great project. You told me just recently that the DNA Commission of the ISFG has published the recommendation on the interpretation of YSTR's results in forensic analysis, which actually resumes 25 years of YSTR guidelines. So what can you tell me about this great paper?
Yeah, the paper appeared just a week ago in a journal called Forensic Science International Genetics, and it is the final stage of 20 years, as you said, 25 years of research, collaboration all over the world with crime labs, with research departments, and to gather information on YSTRs, allelic spectra, information content, and so on, in order to solve sexual assault cases. And for courts or for court-going experts, it's very important to make a correct interpretation of those results. And with the final edition of these guidelines, I think we could give a lot of advice and help to those court-going experts from now on. And may I make this point, especially in different jurisdictions. So in different countries of the world, we found a solution that based on the context of the jurisdiction in the country, tailor-made solution can be found, and the interpretation can be done the right way.
Wow, this sounds like a wonderful tool now for the experts. They can look it up and see what they can do and how they can be successful in the end. That's great. Thanks so much. Now I would like to come back to the YHID. I don't have to tell you about this database. I want to tell you it was launched in 1999 and now hosts more than 307,000 haplotypes from 1,348 sampling locations. And Lutz could really get samples from more than 450 institutes from 135 countries worldwide, which is, I think, amazing. And on top of that, the US YSTR database was discontinued, and the data was permanently transferred to the YHRD, which even makes this YHRD more global and great. So, can you tell me anything new about this database? Is there anything exciting lately?
Now, exciting is that we receive every day data, requests, question on to giving advice to regional stakeholders and experts, how to use a confidence interval which they find in the YHRD, how they use a frequency which they find in the YHRD, and so on. So this is most exciting, to have this permanent communication with the community via this database platform. Apart from this, I mean, I'm only to mention that in the last 2 weeks we get data from the Republic of Kiribati, which is a small republic in the Polynesian archipelago, or from Western Africa, from Burkina Faso. So it shows that not only the big countries but also the small countries are interested. So for instance, the police in Burkina Faso is interested to use this resource for their local crime fighting. And it's amazing that important countries like US, China, Singapore, Germany focus on this database as their preferred resource for reference material. So they coined their guidelines in a way that the YHRD is the advised reference material. And when you see the differences of these countries, you see the success of this approach. And so we are very happy with that.
This is really a great tool, and I think you can be proud that you are, I call it, the father of this database and the idea giver. So this is wonderful. Generally speaking about YSTRs in forensic, are we now at the end of science, or do you see anything new that scientists will practice in the near future?
A Y-chromosome is a multi-purpose tool. Yeah, you can resolve mixtures. You can match male suspects to traces and so on. This is well known for decades. However, it is also well known that it's very important, or it's very useful, to trace back in time the lineage of a person, so you can get some information on a person's ancestry, because it's very nicely embedded in the Y-chromosome structure, in the mutation profile, where this person geographically and ethnically and linguistically comes from. So you can even trace somehow the language of a person, which you have never know, only from a hair, using the Y-chromosome, where in the world these ancestors of this person probably lived and which language they speak and so on. So that could be, of course, of big help to crime labs, for police in severe cases where no clue is available on an unknown suspect, to get more on the background and the context of a trace, which is crucial for the case.
This is very important work you're doing, and actually we are already at the end of this interview, and thank you so much for this interesting highlight of the YHRD. And I have to say, you're one of those forensic scientists who transformed his knowledge of the Y-chromosome to something very valuable and useful for the forensic community. So thanks a lot and all the best.
Thank you.
And now I also want to thank you for your interest in watching this interview. Keep up the good science, stay healthy, and bye-bye.